Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are blessed, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our loving community. Doesn't matter where you've come from, doesn't matter what you've done. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out, yeah. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are best, and a blessing to be. Oh yeah, beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our loving community. Oh, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've done. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Come on now, beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all our best, and a blessing to be. Oh, beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our loving community. Yeah, yeah. Uncovering who we are in our loving community. One more time. Uncovering who we are in our loving community.
Thank you, Jamie. That's Jamie Alula. Welcome to Inner Light Ministries, to our Sunday offering. Just take a deep breath and feel the energy of life pulsating in, through, but most especially as you. Newsflash, you are a verb. You are a verb. You are the activity of life itself. Isn't that extraordinary? We're not entities, these objects in the world that life is happening to, or life is happening at us. It's happening through us. It's happening in us, and most especially as the beautiful, empowered, unique you. Welcome. Welcome to Inner Light. Welcome to this extraordinary exploration, this journey into consciousness, where we are committed to awakening from the hypnotic trance that tells us that we are our stuff. We are here to remember who it is that we are, to step into the possibility consciousness of that, so that we can be a blessing to the world. We are here for personal and global transformation. Both. The individual, the collective, they are the same thing. The personal, the global, they are the same thing. It's just a matter of degree. So you're never going to accomplish all the lofty ideas that we have for society if it's not something that you're willing to be. We have to be it in order to see it. And that's what we are about here. We're about uplifting each other and supporting each other on this journey into our greater yet to be. We provide tools for living. that encourage the practical application of universal spiritual principles to all of life's circumstances. Emphasis on the universe, stuff that is true. It's just true. It's not a matter of dogma or doctrine. It's beyond history or culture or religion or creed. It is the stuff of life itself, where you're going to find it anywhere and everywhere. And I'm telling you now, if you are in some kind of a spiritual practice that doesn't sound like anything else, run. Just run. Because when you peel away the spiritual traditions that have been able to survive through the ages, when you peel it off, they're all talking about some kernel theme. They all agree that there's some kind of intelligence, some kind of wisdom in the universe that has created everything, that there's some kind of inherent relationship between humanity and whatever this creative force and energy is, and that the whole purpose and meaning of life as humans is discovering that relationship, honoring it, and living it to its fullest. And they all have some kind of understanding of karmic law, that what you put out comes back. You reap what you sow. Good news and bad news, but some kind of way that there's a cycle, that we are not just innocent victims of life, but we can actually influence things by what we do. And it's actually that latter aspect that's going to be the topic of my talk today, about everything is redeemable. Today, we are in concert and in league and alignment with our Jewish brothers and sisters as they are celebrating Yom Kippur following Rosh Hashanah. And Yom Kippur is all about a day of atonement, where we take that fierce inventory. We take a look at what we've done, what's happened to us, where we consciously practice forgiveness, where we make new commitments, where we make amends. We actually try to do something to mitigate our trespasses so that we can get on a good foot of wholeness together. We're going to be talking about that today. One of the tools that we offer every single week is 100 words, 100 words to shift and recalibrate you. 100 words. These are precepts, they're principles, they are practices, they are paradigms, and they are meant to be embodied, So I invite you to come back, to listen to this again, to check them out on our website. Repeat them often enough for them to take hold. First the roots and then the fruits. First the roots, then the fruits. We only believe things not because they're actually true, but because we repeated them to ourselves often enough. So imagine what would happen if you actually repeat truth to yourself often enough. What sweet fruit would come from that? The affirmative activations are going to come on your screen. And if you are in any way able to right now, I invite you to say the affirmations with me. I believe in the power of redemption. There is nothing so awful that cannot be cleaned up. We are greater than anything that we have done, bigger than all that has ever happened to us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we can always make amends. I am willing to take fierce inventory of my thoughts, words, and deeds. I am willing to confront my emotions that are out of alignment. Purging is a powerful purifier. I take the second chances that the universe always provides. I accept the grace of forgiveness and share the blessing with others. We breathe that in. And I'm going to invite Jamie Lula to come back and to give us a powerful offering, a new song with a social justice lens for us as spiritual beings that I know is coming out of the depth of your own soul searching.
Indeed, indeed. 25 years in the making. I had this song, and it's just been a lot of the events of the last number of years that allowed me to finish it. I had the hook, but I needed something more. So. Well, I burned in Old Glory because it doesn't mean the same as it once was supposed to. We've conquered, killed, and maimed. Stole the soul out of Africa and called it our own, but it wasn't ours to borrow, beg, steal, or loan. I'm a white man of privilege, got a prejudice, I know. Out of ignorance, I swallowed the pill that I was sold. But we're never free from slavery if anyone's in chains. May we read, write our history, acknowledge it, our sin and pain. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really wanna know. Can we call ourselves Christian as a country that's free from religious persecution constitutionally? Where all men are equal, another lie that we've been told. Tell the red, black, and yellow and the brown ones we've sold. What's America's idea of what we've come here to be? We're about domination. Take a stand or take a knee. Will we bow to corporations, or will the poor starve and bleed? A parachute that won't open for them that really need. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really wanna know. What's your problem with the people who love the same sex as them? Never read a word from Jesus. I think he said don't condemn, but the righteous Aphrodite and the sinner and the saints all believe we're imploding if hate resonates. Some will say if you don't like it, you can go live somewhere else, but I tell you, it's my country. I seek to save the soul itself. If we ever get the story out of white and him and he, we might find the distillation of that evolution's meant to be. If I die for what I believe in, lay me down on hallowed ground. It's a path I've been trudging from the day that I was born. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really wanna know. We can fight for the solution, or we can fight for the gain. We can pray with each other in everybody's name. We can hope it gets better, or we can remain the same. We can build this world together or tear it down with our shame. If we're here for the people who've been knocking at the door, will we grow a sanctuary with a wall and a war? Please use me for the healing. I forgive myself, and then an amends is to turn around. I missed the mark once again. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really wanna know. And what about the indigenous people we've come to know? We acquired their land and people, but we couldn't steal their soul. Replaced the heathen haven with a blue-eyed Jesus role, but Mother Earth and Grandfather Sky saw everything we stole. The only shame we should ever share is the truth that's never told. Oh Lord, forgive us our trespasses and let the story unfold. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really wanna know. Lord, I really want to know. Lord, I really want to know. I really want to know. I really want to
know. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for what it took to be able to hang with that for 25 years for it all to come together.
Mm-hmm.
All to come together. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. We're talking about always redeemable. If you're looking at this in real time, the celebration of the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur is today, following Rosh Hashanah. And Yom Kippur is a time of atonement where you take an inventory of your thoughts, your words, your deeds, where you take that moment to do what you have to do to make amends, to clean it up. At the base of atonement is all about forgiveness, and the willingness to try to correct our trespasses. You know, in scripture, in what we know of as the Lord's Prayer, it says in the King James translation to forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. A better word for that is actually trespasses. This is not a debt as in a financial obligation. It is a trespass in which some kind of boundary has been crossed, in which, as it is defined, that reparations are obligatory. That's within the word itself, that this trespass is something where a reparation is obligatory, that you got to come clean. You got to make it right. We think of sin sometimes as being and doing awful things. The root word of the word sin in scripture is missing the mark, just missing the mark, like an archer, where you just missed it. Okay. And what we pay more attention to is what we actually hit. The thing that was out of alignment, that's what we pay the most attention to. But it's about, what did you miss? You missed a mark. What is the mark that you missed? See, you missed the mark of oneness. You missed the mark of wholeness. You missed the mark of compassion. That's what you missed. When we look out and see what each other has done, it's not a measure of our goodness or our badness. It's a measure of our ignorance. It's a measurement of how much do we actually know that we are spiritual beings? How much do we know that? And how much do we know that the other people are spiritual beings? Evil does not exist in the world. You take human beings out of the equation and there's no evil. You can't find evil out in nature. Evil is just what human beings do. What human beings do when they don't remember who they are. We got to wake up. We have to wake up. This atonement, this redemption, and that idea to redeem something, you redeem it by buying it back. It's the amend. So you redeem. I can hear my father in my head now. You need to redeem yourself, little lady. And you know what he was saying is that whatever it is that I did, I need to do something counter. I need to put a new causation into motion. So you can't unring the bell, but you don't have to stay on that vibration. You don't have to stay on that chord. Ring another bell. Shift, move, get into alignment. If you're off, you don't have to stay off. And judging yourself, beating yourself up, or everybody else for being off, never is going to get you back on. You can get back on. And sometimes it seems like the trespasses have been so egregious. How could we ever get beyond that? I'm thinking now of a story in Hebrew history, and it's the story of a man named Joseph. Some of you might be familiar with Joseph and the Technicolor. This is the Joseph of the multicolored robe. And I'll give you just a brief synopsis of his life and how it relates to this atonement. So Joseph is the great grandson of the Jewish patriarch Abraham. So Abraham begets Isaac, who begets Jacob, and Jacob has many sons, of whom Joseph is one of his youngest. Joseph and Joseph's younger brother Benjamin are his last two sons, and their mother is actually the love of his life, the father's love of Jacob's love of his life, and she passes away. Joseph is an extraordinary boy. He's very sharp, he's very smart, he's a favorite amongst many, including his father, who gets him this just brilliantly colored, multicolored robe that he wears. Well, his older brothers, very jealous of him, decide to get rid of him. And what they do is they actually sell their brother into slavery. And they convince their father that their brother is dead, because they disrobe him, they take his robe, they kill an animal, and they smear the animal's blood on the robe. And they convince the father that his son Joseph has been attacked and he's gone. So they sell him off to be a slave in Egypt. Once again, he's very brilliant. And his brilliance comes to the mind of the royal court. There comes a point in time when the Pharaoh is having all of these very weird dreams, and he's not quite sure what to make of these dreams. And lo and behold, Joseph is able to interpret the dreams. And he explains that the dream is saying that there's going to be 7 years of beautiful bounty, but then there's going to be 7 years of famine. And you need to prepare. We need to really grow, store things so that we can make it through the 7 years of famine. And Joseph actually gets put in charge of all of this. There comes a point in time when his family is very stricken by this famine. And Jacob sends some of his older sons into Egypt to try to buy some food. They wind up in front of their brother Joseph, whom they do not recognize at all. Joseph knows who they are, but they don't know who he is. And not to give himself away, Joseph does not address them in Hebrew. He speaks Egyptian and has that interpreted to keep up with the facade that they don't know that he is the brother. He can hear everything that they're saying. He knows everything that they're saying. And he has utmost compassion. Listen to what I'm saying. They sold him into slavery, but he had compassion for the fact that they were starving. So he tells them, he questions them about their family, and he asks to see the younger brother, Benjamin. He says, I'm going to give you some food now, and I'm going to give you a lot later when you bring this younger brother, and I'm going to hold one of your other brothers as hostage here. He's my collateral to make sure that you come back. So when they go back to their father is oh so forlorn. The last thing he wants to do is let his son Benjamin go, because Benjamin is the last thing that he can hold on to that reminds him of his wife, because in his mind, Joseph is already gone. When Joseph sends his brothers back with the food, what he does is he takes the payment that they had given and he slips it back into their bags. So Joseph is sending them back with the food for free. They don't know this. When they see that the money is still in their possession, they're sweating bullets, because they're afraid that the Pharaoh and all of the Pharaoh's people are going to think that they came and stole. So they don't know what to do. So they are really making haste. Now they want to get back there as soon as they possibly can, so that they don't suffer the retribution of not being able to buy the additional food. Long story short is that there is this tremendous reconciliation when Joseph finally reveals who he is to his brothers, and how remorseful they are, and how regretful they are. And there's a shift that happens amongst all of them. A shift that happens amongst all of them. Listen to what I'm saying. Forgiveness is for you. It's not just about the other person. If Joseph hadn't forgiven his brothers, he'd have just been angry and bitter. He probably would have never risen to the place and the stature that he had risen to. He was able to be a great leader because he had forgiven. And this forgiveness isn't just about the stuff that's happened to us. We have to forgive the things that we've done as well. I love that song that Jamie Lula just shared with us. And I'm wearing a particular necklace right now. It's a necklace that I picked up just a couple of months ago this summer, deep, deep in the rainforest of the Amazon in Ecuador. I was there on a journey with the Pachamama Alliance, an organization that I've been on the board of for the past 12 years. We partner with indigenous tribes in the Amazon in order to help empower them to save the rainforest, to remain their rightful custodians, as well as the sacred headwaters. These necklaces were made by the Achuar women. These were tribes that are so deep into the Amazon, they were never colonized. They were never colonized. They are still doing their same traditions and speaking their same language in the ways that they have done thousands and thousands of years. However, about 50 years ago, a decision was made to engage the modern industrialized world. Listen to what I'm saying. To engage the very society that was wreaking havoc in the natural environment. And this place where I was is the most biodiverse spot in the whole entire planet. And what they decided to do in this engagement was to partner with the very peoples who have caused all the havoc, to partner with them in creating some kind of way that the societies can coexist. So Pachamama Alliance that I've been with helps to build sustainable economies so that there can be alternatives to oil extraction and show pilots to the government that we don't have to keep raping the land. There's other ways that we can make money. This engagement, quote unquote, with the industrial and the modern world, where there's this exchange. We're providing money for the creation of handmade airstrips and eco lodges so that people can come in and visit and know. Hiring linguists to make certain that they have a written language as they're choosing now to allow their children to learn Spanish. All of these ways of trying to come together in a world where we can cohabitate well together. And it just hit me this morning that this is atonement. This is part of my way, and I know our organization's way of doing atonement, of doing some reparations, of reaching out with the very peoples that have been denigrated and marginalized, where there has been genocide, often against them, and coming in and saying, we see you, you have value, you have worth, and what's more, we humble ourselves to learn from you. Your cosmology of knowing how to be in harmony with the universe is what's going to save the planet. We're not trying to make you more like us. We need to be more like you. We need to rub off on each other in a way that we all can prosper. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the way forward. This is the way forward. I don't care what it is. If you're talking about like truth and reconciliation processes that different countries have gone through, case in point, South Africa, as they were getting rid of apartheid. You can't just jump from here to there. It doesn't happen. You can't just jump from alcoholism to sobriety. That's not how it works. You have to atone. You have to be willing to take that fierce inventory. You have to be willing to take a look at what has happened. Just be with it. Grieve it. Feel the pain, the ugliness, all of it, to come out on the other side into all of the possibilities that are awaiting you that you can't see eclipse in all of the guilt and the blame, the judgment and the blame. When it's internalized, is guilt and shame. Judgment, blame, guilt, shame. It's all the same stuff. It just depends upon which way it's being directed. I love this idea of every year having an actual moment where we all stop, where we just all stop and take an inventory. We're at a critical stage now in history around the world, and particularly here in the United States, where we're wanting to skip over this. Okay? We're not only are we not wanting to make the amends or do the reparations, we want to erase the history. We want to erase the history. We don't even want to teach anything that's going to make anybody uncomfortable with the past. You tell me how you ever get sober without allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable. You tell me how you ever come up from being a survivor of anything, unwilling to experience the discomfort. That's not the way that healing works. It's not the way that it works. It's quite the opposite. Listen to what I'm saying. It is the opposite. One of the most Sacred things that you can do is listen, is bear witness. I saw it so beautifully in the prisons. Been in doing work in male prisons for over 20 something years. In fact, Jamie Lula has gone in with Inner Light inside, sometimes into these prisons. And to see the healing, to see the transformation that takes place when people are given an environment that's safe enough to speak their truth, where they're given an environment safe enough that they can transcend their quote unquote sins, where they can transcend the ways in which they've missed the mark, where that's not just what they're known as. At the end of our programs, they're typically 4 or 5 month programs, and we co-facilitate with the men. It's just these extraordinary programs that we do. And we always have a graduation at the end. And for some of the guys, this may be the only thing that they have ever completed or the only certificate that they ever get. We give them triplicates where they can have one that they can keep in their cell as a reminder, one that goes in their record, and one that they can send home, to show the good work that they're doing. And I typically will remind them of this. I said, in Greek, there are different words for time. There is the word chronos, from which we get chronology. And chronos is just undifferentiated time. Okay, that's all that it is. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, void of any specific meaning. And then there's kairos. Kairos is a season. It's an opportune time. It's an age. Like if you were to say the time has come. See, that's not on a calendar. That's not on a clock. And I would tell them, the court gave you chronos. They gave you chronos, just time to do. But you can take this chronos and you can turn it into kairos. You can turn it into kairos. You can turn it into an opportune time. You can turn it into a season. And I saw it happen time and time and time again, so that I can honestly say the most evolved, yes, I will refer to them as shamans, were men who had been inside 20 years plus, most of whom are out now, many of whom I am still in contact with. And they were my teachers. They taught me forgiveness. And in fact, there's a TEDx talk I did, TEDx Berkeley in 2016, that's on forgiveness and what I learned from these men. They taught me about patience. They taught me about love, their capacity to keep showing up in love, not knowing what was going to happen. People that they had bonded with, when they get transferred to other units, it's often in the middle of the night. Quite often when they don't even know they're being transferred. They can't take anything with them. They can't say goodbye. And there's no way for them to contact one another once they're shipped off someplace else. This capacity to, regardless of how their families were feeling about them, to keep showing up, to caring. Because in the prison system in California, it's actually the inmates that are doing most of the programming. So they're the ones that are teaching recovery programs. They are the ones that are teaching reading programs. They're the ones that are teaching anger management and all of these other life skill things. And I remember that's what really got me into wanting to be all in the programming in the first place. When we first started going there 20 something years ago, and I had a group of men approach me. I was impressed, one, that they were multiracial, which is something that you just don't do in prison. And they were approaching me about wanting to do a program. And all they needed was just a sponsor. They just needed somebody. They said, we'll do it. You can just sit there in the back. We just need somebody. And when I got to talking to them and they were telling me what they wanted to do, and I said, wait a minute. Let me get this straight, because they were all lifers. I said, let me get this straight. I said, you want to do a program to make these men better men when they get out. But ain't none of y'all getting out. Okay, all of y'all are here for life, but you want to spend your time in here making sure they are successful on the outside. And they're like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. I said, I'm in. We're in. We are all in. We underwrote the program ourselves, and it's been absolutely extraordinary. But it took atonement. And I realized that part of the reason that I was even interested is it was part of my own atonement for the mass incarcerating that we do in the United States. Well, we are 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's incarcerated. I could just go on and on with the statistics of the United States. It's the both and. We do wonderful things, and in human rights, woo! We've done some stuff. But we don't have to sit around whining and complaining about it. We can lift each other up, and in the process, have some purging, some purifying within our own selves. I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'm telling you that it's worth it. That whatever you fear is going to be the pain of confrontation. Whatever you fear is going to be the pain of change. Whatever that is, I guarantee you, it is less painful to change than it is to stay where you are. Staying where you are is a cost. It's a cost. It costs you the joy. It costs you the liberation, the freedom, the creativity, the joyous sense of connection, the peace, the harmony, the power. It costs you creativity. It costs too much to stay in the judgment and the blame and the guilt and the shame. Free yourself. Free yourself. It's worth it. And the bonus is that as you free yourself, we all get lifted up. We all get lifted up. And you know this. Parents in particular know this. How often have you not wanted to make that change, but you did it for the kids? How many times has there been someone you didn't want to talk to? Somebody you didn't want to reconcile with? Something you didn't want to do, but you did it for the kids because you knew that your staying stuck was going to negatively impact them. News flash. It's like that for all of us. That our staying stuck negatively impacts. So even if you don't want to do it for yourself, can you do it for somebody else? You know, it looks like We're about to go through another round of COVID. And you put the mask on. You put the mask on not only for you, but you put the mask on so that you didn't inadvertently infect somebody else. Because we're all breathing in each other's air. We're doing the same thing with consciousness. We're doing the same thing with consciousness. We are breathing in each other's ideas, attitudes, beliefs, energetic fields. Clean yours up. Clean yours up so that you can experience the goodness that is at hand. Just breathe that in. Breathe it in. Let's take this to prayer. Let's go inside for a moment. As we stop and we pause and we breathe. We're allowing our energy to shift. We're moving into alignment with the divine. Prayer is a movement in consciousness, and we're the ones that are moving. We're moving towards greater wholeness. We're moving into alignment. In this moment right now, we dare to let go. We dare to release anything and everything that is complete. Anything and everything that no longer serves. Anything and everything that eclipses the vision of our divinity. We let it go. We let it go. We let go of the worries, the concerns, the heartbreaks, the fears, the doubts, the lack, the limitation. We let go of the dreams, the hopes, the desires, the agendas, the timetables. We release ourselves from the tyranny of our own timetable. We call upon the wisdom in this moment of the ancestors, the ones that have gone before us. We call upon the wisdom of our most indigenous souls. We decolonize our minds so that remember that we are sons and daughters of the Most High, living in the garden, in harmony and in peace with the planet and all of its inhabitants. We do our part. Pachamama Gaia, Mother Earth, is crying. She's calling out for us to change our ugly ways, to be one with her. And we do everything that we must do to be in alignment. Not to save her, but to realize that we are one with her. We've come out of her and we go back into her. That the very composition of our body is the same stuff in the elements of the planet. Even our blood even coconut water can be used as blood plasma. Doing heart transplants with pig valves. There's only one of us here. We speak a word of sufficiency and enoughness all over the planet. We know it's a distribution problem, not just a supply problem, a distribution problem. So we have the will in this moment. We create the demand for the circulation, for proper balance, to live simply so that others can simply live. We call forth in this moment right now the healing of the body temple. Health, vigor, vitality. We're knowing that whatever it is that's going on, that God is ultimately in control, that the doctors do not have the last prognosis. Oh no, they are working in concert with an intelligence that is transcendent. This is what I know. I give thanks for divine right residence, divine right housing, divine right employment, divine right financial sustenance, divine right companionship, divine right collaborations, divine right opportunities, just divine right action everywhere. Everywhere. In our emotional body and our body politic, everywhere. Create in us a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within us. We get out of the way. We allow it to be. And so it is. Amen and amen.
Oh, naked. I'm naked. You can't see me. Naked. I'm naked. You can't see me. 'Cause I've been hiding behind my garbage. Hiding behind my garbage. Naked. I'm naked. You can't see me. Frozen, I've been frozen in my history. Frozen, I've been frozen in my history. But I've been thawed in your love light. Thawing in your love light. Frozen, I've been frozen in my history. Oh, dying, 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 dying to what I've been. Let it go, 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 dying, I've been dying to what I've been. Oh, but I've been rising like Jesus showed me. I've been rising like Jesus showed me. Dying, I've been dying to what I've been. Oh, use me. Oh, won't you use me, Lord? as I am right now, right here, Lord. Use me. Oh, naked, Lord, I'm naked. Will you use me? Oh, I'm naked. I stand before you naked, Lord. Can you use me? But I've been hiding and I've been frozen, dying, but I've been rising after 3 days, Lord. I'm naked, Lord. I'm naked. Will you use me? Oh, naked, Lord. I stand before you naked. Use me. Use me. Use me. Use me.
Oh, you know, I love that song. You know, every time I see you, I ask you to play that song.
And I'll play it every time you ask me.
Speaks to my heart. You know, we're a praying community here, and we'd like to hold you in prayer. We have prayer practitioners. These are people who have been trained. They literally have trained for years to speak that word for you. Sometimes we're tired to speak the word over ourselves. Maybe the situation is just a little bit too close in. Whether it's something in your own life, the life of a loved one, some circumstance, condition, it could be something going on in the world. Please avail yourself. You'll see the information is scrolling across your screen. You can reach us by telephone, 831-465-9090 at extension 254. Or you can send us an email, the number 4, the word prayer, at innerlightministries.com. There will be a prayer practitioner who will get back to you. Okay? Nothing canned. This is all in response to you, all confidential. There's no charge for the service. Of course, love offerings are always greatly appreciated, but please do not go through anything with a heavy heart, all on your own. It doesn't matter if this is your very first time ever tuning in. Doesn't matter when you're tuning in. Please, please allow us to be in fellowship and community with you. Speaking of fellowship and community, if you go to our calendar, you will see the upcoming events and things that are going on. Some are in person and some are virtual only. Some are combinations of the two. Next Sunday on October the 1st, we will be back at the Resource Center for Nonviolence at our monthly gathering that we have first Sunday of every month from 3 to 5 p.m. Please join us there. We're fellowship. Our house band will be there. And Beth Freeman is our musical inspiration along with our band. Our theme is going to be about a deeper love, a deeper love. There's a chance to do dancing and to connect with each other. We have refreshments afterwards. Come on down if you're any place in the Santa Cruz area. We would love to see you there. Now is our time for conscious contribution. And as always, I say thank you. I say thank you to each and every person that takes that opportunity, that takes that moment to reach out and to make a financial contribution. We're an independent spiritual community. We're not connected with a large denomination. So everything that we use, everything that comes in is coming from you. We're not even a membership church, just anybody and everybody who is involved is a part of it. If you're being blessed by this and you want to support Inner Light and the various ministries that we have going on, please make a contribution. On your screen, you'll see that there are different ways in which you're able to do that. There's a QR code, and that will lead you to a payment portal where you can use any debit, credit card that you want to use. I encourage you to consider a recurring donation. That means that whatever amount that you're giving, that particular amount will be debited the same day of the month for until you stop it, basically. And that's a way for you to make a contribution, whether you're actually participating or looking, any particular Sunday or not. I support many organizations this way. I also do a full-on tithe, as many other people within the community do. The amount is up to you. Just remember, though, that your giving creates a space within you to also receive. Okay. We receive with the same graciousness and measurement that we give. God loves a cheerful giver. Then you can be a cheerful receiver. If you're looking at this online and you're on the website, there's a donate button that's right there. If you want to use Cash App, $ Inner Light Ministries, you can also do a text. And once again, I say thank you. Let's do a little blessing right now. And if you can, I ask you to repeat after me. My every act produces abundance. I dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. I release this gift, knowing it returns to us 1,000-fold. Amen. Amen. And our motto at Inner Light Ministries is to take this consciousness and multiply it. I invite you to do that. Like this, share it, pass it on, come back, listen again. And I invite Jamie Lula to take us home.
I know I can change my mind about it. Oh, my brother, take your pain down off the shelf. I'm wondering why you hate so much. Keep blaming someone else. Tell me what happened to leave you in this state. Walking this road of division won't lead you to your faith. The world has gone a little crazy. I know only one way I can stand. Oh, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me. I know I won't change my mind about it. I know I won't change my mind about it. Hey, sweet sister, I can see it in your eyes. It's not me who you disdain and whom I feel that you despise. Your contempt will never offer the peace you seek to find. Illusion isn't your best feature, it'll terrorize your mind. The world has gone a little crazy. I know only one way I can stand. Oh, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me. I know I won't change my mind about it. I know I won't change my mind about it. It's way past time. We've crossed the line. Let's roll it back and find some kindness for one another. Come on, y'all. Calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. God keeps calling me, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me. I know I won't change my mind about it. I know you can change your mind about it. Oh, keep calling me love, love, love. Keep calling me love, love, love. Oh, calling me, calling me, calling me. Love keeps calling me, calling me, calling me. I know I won't change my mind about it. Peace and blessings, y'all.